I fancy playing Dark Souls again. Let's have a look at the comments from the first video. Fair enough, let's do this. I mean, how hard could this possibly be? Why do I have over 70 hours of footage? Why are there over 1,200 deaths? I have a creeping sensation of dread and fear. This is the one that almost broke me. So, to go back over the rules for this run. No enemies can die aside from bosses, and a boss is something that has a large health bar, like this. No soul packets or boss souls can be used. Bosses can only be fought once. If a non-boss enemy dies in any way at all, direct or indirect, we reset to the last bonfire. We will kill as many bosses as possible, and if a non-respawning enemy dies, reset the run. There'll be some extra caveats to the spirit of the run that I'll bring up as we go. But for now, Tintin, the warrior, takes his life ring and heads into the things betwixt. Running past and ignoring absolutely everything, we can stop by Majula. This is our central hub for the whole run, and we will return often to level up, and more importantly, to join the Covenant of Champions, or COC for short. You see, Dark Souls 2 has an extra mechanic in regards to enemies spawning that the original did not. Even though enemies respawn when you sit at a bonfire, in this game, if they die 12 times, they despawn forever, meaning the game state reflects an enemy death, and leading all of the enemies into an area to accidentally walk off a cliff 12 times. Although hilarious in a grimdark recreation of Lemmings, using that as a way to make the run easier seems against the spirit of the rules. So, the cock throbbingly thrusts towards us with a solution. All enemies now respawn endlessly, meaning we can have as many attempts as we need.
Enemies now hit 50% harder and you're 20% weaker. Whee!
What was that? Anyway, I'm sure it's fine and won't cause any issues whatsoever. In the Forest of Fallen Giants, we can start our crusade. Now make like a crow, pick up anything shiny we can find, immediately get ganked, and run back. Now after waking up everyone from their lunch break, we can run through the fog gate and... For those that haven't played Dark Souls 2, unlike the first game, when you walk through a fog gate or open a door, you have a large portion of time where you're vulnerable to attack. They do remain open after you activate it once, but getting to that point is tricky, and will be a major milestone in our game progression going forwards. Still, after recovering from a standard night out in the East End, we can run back. This time, bolt straight for the vape cupboard, get shanked, and kite the lads all around the arena, entering the hollow tree and immediately die again. But now on our return, we can just run straight through as the fog gate has fallen. Run all over the place, trying not to get petrol bombed, and into the next bonfire. After repeatedly trying to get Lemon to throw a firebomb in my general direction to break the wall, he obliges. Perfect. And I got no souls. Nice. And we go back, making sure to roll through as much gunpowder as we can to prevent a big boom, and try to open the next fog gate, with varying degrees of success. The strat is to lead all the spearmen up the stairs, run off and dash straight for the fog gate.
Foreshadowing is a literary device and
open it, and eventually, after a couple of attempts, open the gate, letting us get easy access to our first glut of souls. Looking at our health bar, it's almost about as small as my brain. That is because each time you die, you hollow a little more, losing maximum health, until your health bar is half the size it should be. Now the only way to reverse this is to use one of these items, a human effigy. That makes your health full again, but they are a limited resource, so we'll be trying to not use them for a while. Straight into the last giant. Our damage isn't great, and he treads on us like the gothy mommy we always wanted. A change in strat is needed. Grab the Morning Star in Majula, which will proc bleed, doing some nice damage on him. And also, Chapter Mittens to abandon the cock, letting us do full damage, and maybe survive a hit. And after a few more deaths than I would like to admit, there we go. Nice. we've defeated our first boss. But this means that of the 42 bosses, we've now taken our first step. Earning 10,000 souls, we finally get to level up. But let's not do that just yet. It's all the souls we get for the entire game. If we manage to kill every single boss, is 1,796,000, letting us get to a total soul level of 157. Nice, but that doesn't account for buying anything. Weapons, upgrades, armor sets, none of it. Nor does it take into account how many bosses we'll even be able to fight with our restrictions. Anyway, so as not to get clapped by the boner over the way, it's time to saddle up and bone home, buy the blacksmith key from the shop, and level up back in Majula. Now with the path cleared, we can easily make the run, dodging everyone on our journey to the pursuer. The chromed out chap is coming for us, but with our morning star we can begin his mourning process. Let's quickly nip back into the arena and... It's a slow process. Our damage output isn't great, but we do, gradually, eventually, excruciatingly, slowly whittle him down and choke on his chrome with a broadsword tonsil exam. Another run back, another attempt, and this time...
Yes! Hey! Nice! Ha!
So, where's our taxi then? Oh god! Ah! Oh! Perfectly safe! I wasn't worried at all! Drop down into this courtyard, and the pursuer shows up again. Let's just fight him and... Nope! The pursuer is now no longer a boss. He doesn't have a large health bar, so we can't kill him. Instead, let's run straight for the chest and acquire the Silver Covetous Ring. Now this changes everything. It gives us an additional 10% of souls. This means that our total number of available souls has increased. It'll give us more wiggle room and ability to buy some of the various things we'll need. And by bravely turning away from the rotund rampager, we can head up the stairs and get eaten by a bunch of grumpy Dobermen. Run across the battlements, roll this barrel towards the wall, and it explodes, letting us in. Now, after the explosion, we do gain souls. It's one of these dogs around the corner. This isn't repeatable. You can't try again. This wall is permanently broken. Now the question comes in of what happened first. If we accept the wall exploded, then the dog dies. Progress was made without killing anything, we can dark sign and carry on. Otherwise, we need to reset the run. Now I'd argue that the wall exploded and then the dog died, meaning we can reset and then carry on as normal. And if we slow down, you can see that here, there is a hole in the wall, but we still have 0 souls. Running back, lighting the bonfire, shuffling the hammer bro around his workshop, and then robbing him blind, we can try to knock off yet another boss, and also acquire one of the most useful items for the run. We need to head back to Majula, run down this passage, fly past all of the plate mail plebs in Hyde's Tower of Flame, and meet Dragonrider, a difficult boss at this point of the run. He can hit hard, and especially because we're so low level, this could be quite tricky, and is dead. Another 13,000 souls! Also, after the boss fight, head here outside his boss room and open this chest. It has the Ring of Binding. It limits the health reduction when hollow, going from losing 50% of your health to only 25%. That is very helpful. 3 bosses down, a total of 40,000 souls obtained, and we can head down to begin the quest for a weapon. Last time I went full sorcerer. This time, however, well, I am a simple man. I see big sword, I want it. It's time to bonk our way through Drangleic, but to acquire a weapon of such colossal proportions, we need to run a lot, all through No Man's Wharf. Now, there are some things to take note of here. For instance, you cannot take the left-hand path. Doing so convinces a canine to cast themselves into the harbour, like an American patriot does with the T. This is obviously not allowed, so head to the right, get repeatedly swamped by everyone, die lots, lead everyone to small areas, and sneak behind them, keep following the path. Run past the skittish, grimdark reincarnations of strong arms from Spyro 1. And we grab it.
It was too big to be called a sword. Massive, thick, heavy, and far too rough. Indeed, it was a heap of raw iron.
Now, for people wondering why I'm going full strength build here and not hedging my bet with sorcery for the utility spells, the reason is simple.
I like big swords and I cannot lie. Those dex mains really must die. But when I see a great big bump take a chunk off a boss, I really get hard.
Aside from the prospect of an enormous sword to overcompensate for my rather modest member, we can get soul vessels, which let us respec our stats later, for free, multiple times. So I actually have a little more flexibility with how we choose to play the majority of the game. Best Souls 2 wins again. After a bit of a whoops-a-daisy and running past the lever, followed by us getting rapidly turned into a pincushion, it's quite a long run back to get to where we were, so we definitely want to not have to do this repeatedly. We get up there and jump past the lever again, die, run back again, sheepishly yank the thing and head down to Spartan Kicker Bridge. We can now run past everyone, over our brand new bridge and onto the big boat that has shown up. And we have yet another boss, the Flexile Sentry. Currently we don't have the stats to use our brand new weapon, but we can continue to bonk it with our spiky ball on a stick.
Hey! First try!
Now we can make voyage for the other side of the Bastille. After spending our glut of souls, we now have the guts to hold our massive bit of iron on a rod. We can only roll when naked though, but it's not as if armour's important now, is it? Currently we need more souls, and to do that, we need to fight some bosses. Old Dragon Slayer would be perfect. Pretty easy with our current weapon situation, but he lives here, in this tower, behind a drawbridge. And the only way to get there? Take out this dragon, who, whilst voluminous, isn't in fact a boss. And you may be thinking of a certain trick to skip the bridge, but that has been tested, and you may see some more of that later. Regardless, this means we can't fight the Wish.com Ornstein. We have one less boss to complete, as well as less souls we can acquire. The Ruined Sentinels would be next, although, with a +1 weapon, that's not going to be fun, and I would have repeated skill issues. So what's next? Let's head through the shaded woods, blindly run through the fog. The path is clear, just head through this boss door and... Help, stepbrother, I'm stuck in the sand. Oh no, stepsister, not related by blood, only by marriage. I might have a tool here that can help. Jesus, why does she have a scorpion arse? What is it with FromSoft games and chimera ladies with insect bottoms? One piece of advice for this boss fight: when she's burrowing around, do not stand on the sand. That can end poorly. Instead, stand on this bit of stone ruin, and she can never pop out and damage you. But this is in fact an easy game for babies, and I definitely didn't struggle here. I definitely got it second try and didn't take 48 minutes and 20 attempts. Oh no, absolutely not. Still, 25,000 souls obtained, and after heading back to Majula, beefing up the bonk as much as we can and getting some levels, we can carry on past the Scorpion Lady's corpse, and then through to the doors of Pharos. There are a bunch of Gimli's cousins 14 times removed knocking about the place. It's still not too bad to run by their lumbering frames and gently lead them away from doorways. Rapidly showing up at the bright cove of Tseldora, it's quite simple. All we need to do is run down this ramp, open this door and carry on. Oh, that's an issue. When we reload the area, everything has respawned. The boulder, the hollows, all of it. So how can we get around this without gaining any souls? Unfortunately, you can't edge the boulder. Nor can we hide from it. It always knows. We can't even smack the wall with a sword to tempt the enemy away. Another trick I used extensively in Dark Souls 1 is the save and quit. In that game, quitting out reset enemy position whilst keeping mine the same. So maybe I can do that to prevent the death and destruction. Nope, that does nothing, because that trick doesn't work. Because now enemy placement is remembered. So that's it. Run dead. Can we instead use a bow and arrow, shoot the miner, get them out of the way, then run past? Nope. Pushing the boulder also somehow inextricably kills this guy up here. Brilliant. After more testing, eventually I come up with this. If you creep down the path, shoot here, you can see the soldier turns away. Then dart down the path and head forwards. Just don't, I don't know, accidentally hit the enormous hitbox for the wooden thing. Like, what's that? That's ridiculous! Also, don't forget to shoot the second wooden thing to send the other boulder off, as if you don't, it will crush someone else. Brilliant! Let's get a move on. And aha! We need to open this door, whilst an angry miners' union meeting is taking place, and they would rather we see the pointy end of a pickaxe. So, run down, shoot the far boulder, shoot the near boulder, dash past as fast as possible, aggro all the lads, kite them around, and give us just enough time to open the door before they bludgeon us to death.
Okay, right, yeah, I'm gonna have to run. Sorry, lads. Okay, just go through. Go through. Oh. Well, shit.
Lovely, especially when they hit for big damage, as we are in fact a cock. This is going to be tricky, and it's harder for another reason you might not notice. I have precisely 0 souls, of course, and that also means I can't buy any more arrows, and I have not many, so we won't get many attempts to make it work. Okay, we're through, let's lead them around and try again. 9 arrows remaining. This boss is actually fine to complete, as damaging anyone in the room does affect the giant boss health bar. So, we're good to go. And it's super easy as well, no worries. This is what happens when we have the cock on. We're about as resilient as a coughing baby in an anthrax factory. 7 arrows remaining. We have to make a decision. We don't have many attempts left, but what can we do? Now that I know how to get through consistently, I can turn the cock off, and that'll mean reduced damage to us and extra damage to them, but we still only have a maximum of 2 attempts left. 5 arrows remaining. Zero arrows remaining. That was far too close. Note to self, buy more arrows, just in case. Bonfire claimed, souls spent. Let's jump into the arachnid attic and see what we can do. This whole area will kill us repeatedly as we go diving for items, and the main thing to be concerned about is when you run past all of these spikes and end up in the Spider Cathedral. There are spiders on the ceiling, on the floor, and on the wall. Lovely! It's like the worst Monty Hall problem. There are 3 doors. Door 1 contains a spider nest. Door 2 contains Spider-Man. And door 3 contains an invader. Do not open door 3. It stays open forever and makes getting through here more difficult than it should be. Ask me how I know. Invaders also do not respawn, so be somewhat cautious. Now, all these spiders are aggressive, but there is a way to stop them. By getting a torch out, you can scare them away with fire. Nice, but be careful, you can run out. We do need to keep track of it, because we don't actually have that much time left on it.
Are you sure about that?
After dragging Spider-Man out of his spider hole, climb the ladder and descend through the webs for the Duke's dear Freja, the only boss in the game that invites us to spit roast them, run away from the business end, rub them with your medieval tonsil tickler, and then when a gag reflex kicks in, run around to the other end and try again. Rinse and repeat. Alternatively, you can discover that in regards to head game, she is a biter. We will, however, need to go back to the ball on a stick, as we don't yet have enough strength to hold the Greatsword with a single hand. But after a few short attempts, where you smack our ball on her face enough and she relents, giving us the victory. 46,000 souls. Lovely. Now just another piece of advice. Don't put the torch away after the fight.
Oh no! Oh no! That was a terrible idea. No, what did I do that for? No! No, no, no! Oh god! No! Oh, oh, oh no! Ah! Yeah!
That was again closer than I would have liked. Spending our hard-earned souls, we can upgrade to +7 on our Greatsword, get 28 strength to one-hand it, and spend 10,000 souls with Melentia. As when you do this, she'll give you a ring, an upgrade to the covetous Serpent Ring. This gives us an additional 10% increase in souls gains, again, massively increasing what we get from bosses. Next on the docket, it's time to ruin some sentinels. Even on a normal playthrough, it's usually best to run past everything here, but it's still quite a long back. But we head through the fog,
First try! That took me 2 hours last time! Oh! Oh!
back in the Bastille and some explosive pharaohs later.
Now then. Oh! Well, now then. Now then, now. Right. Okay. Okay.
We eventually end up here. Now all we need to do is follow this path down, hop on the lift, run through the water closet, and head across this pathway and fight the lost sinner in this arena. Simple as. Trying to keep the guardsman alive was like looking for sanity in a clown school. Theoretically possible, but practically, someone smacks you in the arse, tweaks your nose, and asks you if you want to join in on the big shoe seminar. The biggest problem is this platform. Whenever you do go down the lift, the swordsmen like to test the capacity of their ankles. What made this even worse is that because I'd failed so many times, I had to use the cock debuff to my damage. Brilliant.
Might be right. I might be okay. No, not okay. Okay. What? Who died? Who died? No. Thanks. Brilliant.
13 attempts later, we get down there and... Eventually, we sneak past all of the guards, head down the elevator, slink by the clockwork chopper, past the blokes that go boom, and into the boss room.
Oh! Yes! Take that!
That's another boss ticked off, and a bunch of levels to gain. You may have noticed my brand new piece of armament, the Blossom Kite Shield. This game's replacement for the Grass Crest Shield. It increases stamina regeneration speed. Perfect. Except that it doesn't. I lugged this absolute piece of dog water metal around on my back for the entire playthrough without realising that because of its weight, its stamina regeneration doesn't even outweigh that. And in the words of commenters, you will need to look at this shield on my back for the rest of the video with that image in your head. That was just a bit of a prolapse in Judgement. We still want more souls. Another place we can go on the hunt is back in the Bastille. From this bonfire, head downstairs, pop in a ball gag and smash through the wall. Now head to the Belfry Gargoyles. These chaps continue my habit of being terrible at dealing with them, be it bingo, Dark Souls 1 challenge runs, and now this. Still, 20 minutes later and 30,000 souls richer, I'm not going to complain. For now, we can begin to explore the large manhole in Majula. After gingerly heading down, we can explore this boss room, the Royal Rat Vanguard. Head in and nothing happens, just some rats. So I stayed here for a long time, while running away and nothing. Turns out you need to kill 10 rats before the rat boss will show up, and none of those rats contribute to the health bar, so that's another boss that's impossible to do. Dropping yet even further down this time, we end up in the Poison Wastelands, the gutter, and after heading down and falling into the bonfire, now, I hate this place. I get lost every time. I know it's a rough straight line-ish, but everything all looks the same. It's all dilapidated bits of wooden guff, especially when it's dark and I don't have enough torches to make sure that I can see. Just look past my incompetence and accept that I hate this place. And why are there so many fire receptacle sconce things? Seriously, why are there 50 of them? Why? Still, after repeatedly running and jumping off into the void, getting lost and falling off, accidentally letting enemies fall off, we can push through to the Black Gulch. And this is where we need to talk about a couple of things. Here is access to the Crown of the Sunken King. We need to kill these two giants, get the Forgotten Key from them, and then take it to this door in the pit walls in Majula, get the Dragon's Talon, then go back to Black Gulch and enter the DLC. Yeah, that's 3 bosses and a total of 250,000 souls that we can now no longer access. There isn't a way through the door without killing the giant, so it's off limits. And the opposite side of the gulch, through the fog gate, we have the Rotten, a writhing mass of grafted flesh come sentient. After a few attempts of getting through without being poisoned, tall order. Oh no, we get in and the Rotten goes down. What, did you expect something special? He's really big and very slow. He just dies. 3 of the 4 great souls have been completed.
I will spread my tendrils of despair throughout the land. You will suffer. You will fail.
All we have left is the Iron King's soul to reclaim. As a just in case, I'm going to go and buy another Greatsword, because what makes overcompensating even better? More rod with which to wield. Now, after levelling up, we can head through the pathway that was opened in Majula to Huntsman's Copse. We have a little bit of finagling to do to get from the first bonfire to the second. Accidentally gain some souls, so have a short jump into the valley, and repeatedly get biffed by blokes inside. But finally we can wriggle past the ninja flipping fruitcakes and rest. Now here we have a long path ahead, a path that's thin and winding and leading to... repeatedly. But eventually we can go in and perform an industrial inquiry into their living conditions, and all of the other boners are in fact inside them. In short order, even with the reduced damage, we reduce them to dust. Now we arrive in Harvest Valley. This place is incredibly useful and painful. Useful because we can actually run around and get the rest of the Titanite chunks we need to allow us to upgrade all the way to +10. But this place This place is vile. The poison ground reveals an insidious realisation. Once you get through here, at the poison pools, lift this lever to have access to the castle, there is only one way through. In here. And what happens when you walk in? This chap with the G-Maul is looking to spec you out. Runs through the poison. And there's nothing you can do about it. We can't run in there fast enough to prevent him from poisoning himself. You can't sneak up to the side and shoot the pots with a bow. You can't pretend to be your own pot and sneak by. You can, however, break them with throwing knives. But he sees you and storms through the rest, still poisoning himself. So again, we're at a roadblock with no way past. So what do? Let's just run past and take a break. Actually, I still want to play the game. Oh wait, look at that. The poison has for some reason stopped. Now how about that? Earlier when I said that the quit out was useless in this game, I wasn't entirely honest. Enemy positions may not reset, but their status conditions do. So if we run into an enemy that poisons themselves again, we know what to do. We do get through to this cute little thing behind the boss. Wait, who's writing this script? What's this?
The script?
I know it is, but why have you edited this part about the covetous demon? Just look at it. It's got a face like a bag of smashed crabs.
Don't you dare talking about my precious boy like that. Ma sei proprio cretino, ma come ti permetti? Ma io non lo so, ma che cosa ti ha fatto? Ma tu l'hai visto? Ma io non lo so, guarda tu, c'ha una faccia così. Ma vedi.
After hitting the definitely cute and not at all eye-bleached Jabba the Hutt wannabe 7 times, we claim his soul. Head up and light the next bonfire, Earthen Peak. Climb the tower, set the place on fire, fight a boss, nice and easy. Stop falling off. Stop it! Why is there falling animation throwing knives? And also, why does nothing in this game care about alluring skulls? Come on, just get out of the way, please! Eventually, finally, at the bonfire, let's set the sail on fire. Still, from here we can head yet still further up to find this secret bonfire, which makes runbacks to the next boss kind of minimal. Drop down, dodge roll past the pair, and we're in with Mytha the Gorgon. And if you thought this is going to be difficult, well, I don't know what to say.
Now that's a lot of damage!
After teleporting out before anyone attacks us or makes our life difficult so we can spend our souls, we emerge here, Iron Keep, a place of fire and fear, of anguish and torment. This is going to be my prison, my recluse, my final resting place. This is the end of days. This whole keep has multiple bonfires, here on the bridge, here after the Smelter Demon fight, and here at the top of the tower. All we need to do is get from one to the other. First things first, cross the bridge, try not to get poked by the Alon Knight, then get got by said knight before you can open the door, repeatedly. To make sure he doesn't follow us, we can run up, parry him, dash off to open the door. Perfect. Ignore the invaders, they make things harder by showing up, but shouldn't cause any issues. Now we need to head here. Pull this one particular lever, it moves the overhead bridge like this, letting us run through. Now everything is set up. It's now time to make our way to the boss fog, without anything jumping into the surrounding ocean of lava, or dying ourselves to then get an opportunity to fight the Smelter Demon. The path to the boss is treacherous. Do you want to know how long this took? Go on, guess. 25 minutes to get to the Smelter Demon for the first time. Good start. Now let's try again. The real danger is here on the bridge, because of this attack where the Alon Knight tries to stab you, but instead end up punching their ticket to a KFC bucket. I mean, it's not the worst run back in the game, not by far, but it's still 50 seconds to a minute before you can even be back in the boss room. If you even get through, and even then, he isn't always the easiest chap to deal with. He also has a couple of rather frustrating attacks that I always forget. However, 32 attempts and 51 minutes later,
I'm taking that.
one bonfire down. Now I'm sure the next one will be just as easy. Now from here we need to head through this room, around the outside, down this small alcove, into this more open area, through this tiny corridor, then up the stairs to the bonfire. Right, it's not that far. I'm sure it'll be fine. Let's break this down further. Instead of worrying on how to get all the way here, let's see if we can get through each section first. Room 1. Head in, drag the Alon Knight, dodge the turtle and walk forwards. Nice and simple. Unless the knights do the stab attack to their doom. Next room. As soon as you walk in, this Alon Knight jumps down. That should be fine. If we run all around and follow the path, we should be able to dodge it. Nope. Something always jumps to their death, or gets set on fire by these things as they follow you. Maybe we can run over and just about reach this ladder instead of going through that door. This lets us descend into the next room instead. No, you can't reach it unless you pull this lever. If anyone stood on the platform, when you pull the lever, their pathfinding breaks and they just embrace death. Right. Maybe we can round them all up, kite them further away and run past it, all clear, and hopefully they forget about us.
Oh, get out me way!
Right, instead let's... it's that guy, what a nuisance. Anyway, just so long as she doesn't get in the way of any testing... Forlorn will never respawn here again. We've permanently altered the timeline.
Yes, she is never coming back from her sauna treatment.
It's not like it'd make any difference. We can just keep going and pretend it practically makes no change.
Yes, carry on. I love that for you.
It's fine. We can just play on and be fine. If I didn't do it, did I even prove it? Back in the things betwixt. Let's go. And after an additional 12 hours and 15 minutes, we're back. Step up and beat the Smelter Demon, caught up to where we were, Tintin II will rise up. Better, stronger. But again, we still have the problem of this room. Now, there must be a strategy. How about we skip running all around here and just jump this gap? That works. But unfortunately, things still fall off. I need a new piece of information, a new bit of tech. I need FromSoft jank. And I found it. What if we could just jump much further? We need this, the moon butterfly skirt. In Majula, if you spend 10,000 souls with this grovelling wet wipe.
Hello there. Welcome to my shop.
He turns into a bit of a slappable bellend.
I upgraded my stock recently, although it may be a bit out of your reach.
But he does in fact sell them in his shop for 10,000 souls. So that's a 20,000 soul investment. One that Tintin II can just about manage by being slightly lower level and spending all of the Belfry Gargoyle souls on it. Explaining how we got the item aside, how does that increase your jump? Well, it does state in the item description that it will do this, but the amount is negligible, and we still can't jump to the centre ladder. However, if you press the X key on the keyboard to toggle Always Run, unequip the skirt, hover over it in the inventory screen, then equip it and jump at the same time. Now that's something we can work with. Perfect. Let's haul all the way over and try. We get over and things follow us into the lava. Why? Stop following me into the lava, please! The issue is that running around the room like this aggroes too many of them. We need a way to prevent this, but how? There is something. Just inside, behind this door, there's yet another Pharos door waiting for us to insert a rock into them, and that reveals this ladder. Now, this is how you get to the Belfry Luna, a completely optional, hideously pointless location for this challenge. However, it does have an overhang that we can use, and maybe do our Buzz Lightyear impression from. And we fall into the drink again. This time aim for this bit and we get there and jump the gap. Brilliant! This also has far fewer enemies now chasing us. Another thing to note is that sometimes you just do a little jump for no good reason. Look, what's this? Why are you jumping at the wall? Jump the gap! Turns out that this is because there is a restriction on the length of your jump if you haven't been running for long enough. So we need to moon jump over, run around in a little circle doing ring around the roses, and then we can consistently jump the gap. That's the second room done. What's next? This is nice and simple. Just run past, down the stairs, into the corridor. And in that corridor, a turtle blocks the path to pull a lever. That lever raises this blade, and then around the corner is another one. I wonder, do you think we could just jump over it? And after a few attempts, we can. You need to jump as he's swinging the hammer down to dodge the hitbox. Oh, it's perfect. Now with a bit of luck, run into the second corridor, super jump turtle 1, pull the lever, run past, and super jump turtle 2. At least in theory. We have a full strategy. Storm over here, up the stairs, super jump like this, landing on the pad, normal jump over to the other side, down the corridor and stairs, then do a super jump over the next turtle, open the chopping blade, and jump the next turtle. I can feel it. It's possible. Let's go for it. This is very inconsistent. Maybe there's something in Dark Souls 2, similar to lots of other games, where female player characters have slightly smaller hitboxes. Yeah, that was an absolute punt in the dark, and it makes absolutely no difference whatsoever. All we can do is just keep on going.
So, how long has he been at it now? 8 hours? You left him doing that for 8 hours? You're not going to help him?
This strategy, as cool as it would be, doesn't work. Even when you get over the turtle and then open the gate, someone somewhere behind you has fallen in the lava, or alternatively got crushed by the falling blade, so it's impossible. This strat at least. Instead of going through the level, we can go around. We're going to need to use the parry walk. Set your jump button to be B in the menu, wear the butterfly skirt, parry an attack, walk forwards at their feet and then move backwards and to the right for one step, then press R1 and B at the same time. If you do it right, you'll jump over the enemy like this. Full speed, it looks like this. And now you can run on the air for 28 seconds. It's tricky to do, but you do get the hang of it after a while. And where does this trick help us? all the way back here on the bridge. Parry this bloke, do the trick, and run like this. And you see that in the distance? That is the boss door. Run towards it, and when the timer ends, everything goes back to normal, the game loads back in, we can backtrack, head up these steps, and sit at the bonfire. And now it's time for that boss fight, isn't it? Come on, the old Iron King isn't going to bonk himself. The most dangerous thing about this boss fight is the arena itself. After the blunt force trauma is complete, souls collected, levels upgraded, and now we can make our way to Drangleic Castle.
You have arrived. I'm going to take you in my clutches and...
I'm gonna cut you off there, mate. Now, that stupid eldritch voice, come on. I'm not a bloody tourist.
Okay, fair enough.
What are you doing here?
Well, I am the reincarnation of all the unknown evil that's gone on in this place, warping the timelines and mucking about with memories, that sort of thing.
Right. And are you going to let me in?
Sure, if you kill some stuff.
You know that I can't do that.
I mean, you can, it's quite easy. You just walk up to something, press R1 repeatedly. It's just a case of playing normally, if I'm honest.
Aha, well, I'm sure I'll be able to figure something out.
Sure, but if you are ever really stuck, I do have a solution for you.
Well, that's mildly foreboding. Still, up the steps and head inside, except we can't. To enter the castle normally, you need to kill something near these bowls. Their soul juice gets sucked in and the door opens. Obviously not allowed. We need to do something else. Yeah, I don't know. Let's go and take some lumps out of the DLC first. Let's get the key to enter. Here in the Forest of Fallen Giants, run, do a plunge attack right here onto this frog, fire, salamander thing. Even with our massively upgraded weapon, no souls obtained. Run around, grab the key. We can then head to Broom Tower. The tower's going to be really quite difficult to navigate, starting right at the beginning. As we begin to descend, we need to somehow open this door, with, well, everyone being in the way. Still, nothing that can't be solved by repeatedly throwing ourselves at it until the AI lets us pull the lever. And we're there. Now walking through to the next section. We have to be wary, as if you follow the normal path, in here, everyone wants to explode. We can't even shoot the barrels out of their hands. That isn't going to work. What we can do instead, however, is re-equip our butterfly trousers and dodge some of those areas. Like this. Then we can drop down a couple more platforms and head to the bonfire. Progress is made, and now we have a very similar situation. Room full of a bunch of chaps, and a door to open. Let's see how we can worm around these guys. Yep, they smash. And the one time the large lumbering lad doesn't notice us, we get through, immediately die, but because the door is now open, progress has been made. Trying to avoid all of the Zeus cosplayers is a bit of a pain, but with time, all will fall. We're through, bonfire obtained. The next gauntlet, the passage of spikes and blokes who go boom. Lovely. We need to again, I feel like I'm repeating myself here, blag our way through to pull this lever, then we can nip around and open a shortcut. If the lightning bolts weren't enough, this massive giant hidden around a corner is. But when he slams down next to us and misses us, it's just enough time to get the door open. And again, die. Running back, we can head round, unlock the shortcut and cross to the second tower. Now this place is odd. None of the enemies do much of anything until they get close, at which point they explode themselves. We're going to need to be careful. Make sure no armour's being worn and the cat ring is active. I'd like to interact with this as little as I can. Drag the fragrant fellas out of the way. We do get invaded, but if you make sure that you're human and have enough health, it's possible to just drop down here. Head into the smelter room, and here we have another question of timing. We need that key, but when you pull it out, all of the gassy goons in the room go boom. But we got the key, then they exploded. So it should be fine, right? After getting blown to Kingdom Come, we're back here. Can pop in our perfectly normally acquired key, and now there are 2 bosses we can currently fight. Smelter Demon and Fume Knight, both located along this tower. Fume Knight at the very bottom, and both are tough for completely opposite reasons. Smelter Demon is difficult because of this run back. It's not massively long, but why am I so slow? Just let me run! Fume Knight, however, has a very short run back, but I am just bad. Still into the rusty back passage, and after almost 2 hours of getting shafted in the passage.
Oh, yes! Bah! Take it! Oh!
Brilliant! 90,000 souls obtained. Time to take the long road down to the depths. Some say that he sits here waiting for counselling on his Oedipus complex, or that there's a very good reason why one arm is bigger than the other. All we know is that he's called Fume Knight.
Oh, that hits me every time!
Just dodge out of the way!
We dodge! We hit!
We die.
Oh, I'm so bad at this! Oh, that was close! We might get it. Come on, come on, come on! Come on! Let's go! Come on! Dodge!
Yeah!
My knob is so huge!
Got big old danglers like church bells!
And now, that's all we can do. We can't yet enter Suralon's memories. We're tooled up and have completed as much as we can. I suppose it's time to go back to Baron's Castle. Like I said earlier, the front door is not available. So what is the plan? Well, what we need to do is to use another parry walk. Run up to the front gate, drag this royal swordsman off the side, parry walk and run like this, all around the outside, and we drop down. Here, the passage to the final boss, but that feels hollow somehow. Like we're missing something, even if we get through, which we can. Defeat Watcher and Defender, which we can. Nashandra, the final boss, never shows up. To do that, we need to complete some other tasks inside the castle, and we can't enter Baron's rear entrance at all. Let's have an explore. So, after parry walking again, we end up here, which is close to a bonfire, but we can't get through any of the ceilings. Looking at this overhead map, this is where we've landed. That's where the bonfire is. It looks like we should be able to get to it. However, now if I bring up the collision data, it's rock solid. There's no way through. I've heard that you can do a chest proxy. Let's try that. So again, parry walk, run at this chest, and then point yourself at the wall and try to open it, and... yeah, we do something, but that something isn't useful. Surely there's some sort of tech that the speedrunners have got. They always come in clutch. And so it was with this brilliantly drawn diagram that I understood what I need to do. Distortion 2 also had it happen to him on a run.
What? I'm on the other side. Why is there water and how am I on the other side? What?
It's not easy, but if you're sprinting at the door whilst parry walking, and the parry walk ends as you're running towards it, you preserve some of your forwards momentum and click through the door to the other side. That sounds reasonable. Except there's no on-screen timer for the parry walk, and you can't see the door or anything as you're trying to run at it. It's doable, just difficult. Only one thing for it, let's batten down the hatches, lock in and grind.
You alright, mate? Snipping in for a couple while I'm off the clock. Right, what's he doing? Yeah, I see. It's not going to do him any good, you know.
Minutes turn to hours, and the run never stops. What makes this particularly vicious is after each attempt, you need to run from here, at this bonfire, all the way through the shaded woods, through this tunnel, all the way here, and then you can try the parry walk. It's a 2-minute 20-second run back every single time, and it is brutal. My success rate on even getting the parry walk is about 30%, so on average I spend 7 minutes running back to the castle, get a parry walk, and then fail the clip through the door and try again. But eventually, after 26 attempts, no, that's actually how many times I did the parry walk. After 77 total attempts across 5 hours and 18 minutes on stream, and an additional 5 hours investigating the tech and researching, this happens.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No, out of the way. Go, through the door, go. Oh, ah. Oh, no, come out of there, you big old bastard.
We're in, and we can sit at the bonfire. Perfect. What now? Well, it's fine. Just through this door opposite, upstairs, and then we can progress normally through the castle. Except the door doesn't open from this side, and the next room is another door that won't open without killing anything. So I spent 10 hours of my life on a trick that accomplishes nothing. We get nothing. You lose. And that's it. It's all we can do. Run to the boss room, fight Watcher and Defender, leaving a stillness in the air. I failed. I am Sir Rando, and you can't beat Dark Souls 2 only killing bosses.
Wait, hold on.
Christ, how'd you get in here?
Well, this is my castle.
Fair enough.
Look, there is a way to do it.
You have to tell me.
You have a dilemma. Let's call it a two-sided coin. On one hand, you leave it here, accept that this is as far as you can push through, and fail. On the other side, you can murder, sully your hands, and get access to the rest of the castle.
Yes, neither of which choice seems particularly good.
Suppose you throw a coin enough times. Suppose one day it lands on its edge.
What do you mean?
You push the timelines to their limit and come out with a clean conscience in a broken world that doesn't remember you. Would you accept that?
Whatever the cost.
Okay, I would like you to meet the Corruptor.
Dexterity, a rapier. He murders anyone in his way. He ploughs through Drangleic without a care for a single soul, hell-bent on retribution and violence. A malevolent force without equal. Neither man nor God can stand in his way. But when he finally reaches this moment of the timeline, crashes through the castle with reckless abandon and rests here, finally, the first paradox can be created. Begin overwriting the memories of his world, but not yet. Enter the boss fog and leave, then fully overwriting. And when you return, things are different. Use a homeward bone, there you are. A pure man in the Corruptor's world. All the items and everything we have in our inventory is our own, but the world is different. And from here, we have full reign of the castle. This does actually introduce some weirdness. Bosses he defeated on his journey through Drangleic are now not available for us. unless we use an aesthetic, but specifically for the twin dragon riders and the executioner's chariot, it seemed a bit cheap to then get a bunch of bonus extra souls as they would be on New Game Plus 1, so I left them. After an additional 7 hours of gameplay and 1 save corruption glitch, we now have a workable save file. For about 5 minutes, we again can't progress because again, the game needs us to kill a thing to fill the soul bowl with ectoplasm. What's the plan this time? This time we pull out Old Faithful and parry walk across to where we need to be. From the Dragonrider's bonfire, head this way, get a parry walk here on this Royal Swordsman and follow this path. Now you can sprint towards the Looking Glass Knight, and yes, this is the run back, so don't screw it up. Run in, kite away his summons, and just keep bashing. At this point, the bosses aren't really, well, all that dangerous. We have an enormous sword, and do lots of damage with solid vitality and health. The bosses will now mostly be a formality. Oh god, I hate this place! Getting constantly shot from all over the map. Everyone's magic missile does hit like a truck, but generally we're bent over and get a slapped bottom. What's the plan then? I try everything. Try turning into bits of scenery, doesn't help. I even head back to the things betwixt, respec to let us use these 2 spells. Hush and Yearn. Yearn is a spell version of Alluring Skull, and Hush makes our footsteps silent. I'll definitely trade some DPS for utility, and none of it works. There's just no secret trick, no way to make it easier. It's time to throw ourselves repeatedly at it until we win. A mere hour and a half of cranium blunt force trauma.
Okay, we got through.
And the next area is a bit tricky. These mushrooms are in the way and we can't struggle past them. But using our old friend the super jump, it does let us over. And let's be honest, the Frogger boss is nothing to write home about. You might think that pushing through these shield guards will cause issues, but no. Annoy them enough and the move so we can slink down here, letting us easily find a bonfire, rest up and prepare to run to Velstadt. The run isn't actually that bad, hug the left hand wall, sneak up into the fog, job done. After running in, going up against him, getting bonked by his buffed up weapons, just once or twice, we do manage to finish him off. Let's get those souls back, hey? We can run through and get the King's Ring, opening up the final parts of the run that we needed. These 3 places are now open to us, but only one of them that we're currently interested in. Through the Ruined Fork and the museum, I think? Just parry the invader to get enough time to open the door, let the hippos break down all the walls, and then just slap up the red dragon, take your D-bones and hide. Nice and easy. First try.
Right to the dick. Yes.
Into Dragon Airy. Nothing too major. Just head up towards the dragon mansion thing. There isn't even anyone here that gets in the way or can give souls. Now, climbing up the dragon shrine is tough, but things shouldn't really knock themselves off. So run up, dodge, duck, dip, dive and dodge until you get to the final boss fog and chat with the ancient dragon. Plot occurs, we get the Ashen Mist Heart, an object that lets us enter the memories of things, something we need to do to get some giant souls and get this item, the Giant's Kinship. We need that to complete the game. But first, it's time to make like a bard, get a foot job and rub our massive rod all over the dragon. But now we need some giant souls. Well, we don't need them. I want them. Because this floppy lad, Vendrick, has a 32 times defense buff when you have no giant souls, and it halves every time you do obtain one. We won't be able to get it down that far. There are a few different ways to get the souls. One of them is by killing these chaps. Yeah, that's not going to happen. The other way you can is by going into the memories of already dead giants knocking about the game and picking them up. Much better. We can also get a bonus one for killing the ancient dragon boss. Perfect. Some of them are absolutely not doable. As soon as you show up, things explode, killing a bunch of enemies. So that's out. One we can complete, however, is Vamar. Although the initial tests don't pan out very well, we can actually utilise the Yearn spell to make sure everyone is distracted whilst we run to the dead giant. It takes a couple of attempts, but that should be enough to make Vendrick more bearable. One exceptionally slow bonk fest later, we can now clear up the rest of the DLC. And whilst we're at it, let's nip back to Broom Tower. Sir Lon is calling. I mean, how hard could it be? Up until now, I have a 100% kill rate. I beat him first try on my first ever attempt.
Okay. Okay, where's the main boss?
So, how hard could it be? I'm not worried in the slightest. Okay, maybe he is a little difficult, but still, I only died 9 times. Time now for the Crown of Ivory, and this is a bit of a strange one. I already know we won't be able to do much for it. We can fight the pussycat on a bridge, and double trouble down in the frozen wasteland. The final boss is absolutely out just because of the mechanics of how the boss fight works. Other things need to die. Even getting through to each area that we need to, it's not that hard with the restrictions. There's a sketchy area here as we try to run around and get the braziers re-burning, and this chap is a pain if he doesn't move, but no one really falls off anything. No notes at all. Ava's bark is worse than a bite, so send her back to the rescue shelter. And then we have this. The Wastelands, fighting Rudolph and his ADHD brethren. It's an awful run back. So bad, the last time I sat down to do it, I spent 2.5 hours on it, with no restrictions at all. But this time, I learned. Summon both of these NPCs, let them take the heat as you repeatedly run down, and dismiss them before you walk into the arena. The boss fight, actually quite tricky, but so long as you can kill the first feline before the second comes out, you'll have it in short order. It's nothing that a bright bug and lots of buffs can't fix. And yeah, that's it. DLC is done. Well, I've been putting this off. We need this, the giant's kinship. And you only get this in this giant's memory. It just so happens that as soon as you walk into the area, explosives destroy and kill a bunch of stuff, and there's no way to change it. So yeah, that's it. No fake out. No. And then this changed the run. Just finality. The completion of the challenge. To here, there's nothing left to do. No way around it. Maybe I could argue that because this happened in the past and I'm just experiencing it through someone else's memory that it's allowed, but you still get souls. Souls you can keep. I mean, I might as well finish the story, hadn't I? I will at the very least forfeit the souls gained here, like a bad memory, but that's it. The giant falls, and we walk down to the throne. The Watcher and Defender fall. Nishandra, the Scourge, enters. But my blade is too much. I can barely remember what I did, I just felt numb. No emotion, just existence. Elidia came down for his final experiment, but he did not have the means to take me on. It's a long and weary road. It's not the one that I wanted. It was all going quite well, and yet your expectations can be dashed at any time. I did all that I could, but it wasn't enough. I sincerely appreciate everyone who supports me. I'm trying to make this a full-time thing so I can make even more. Thank you all of those that are supporting me on the channel and on Patreon. And most of all, thanks to you. Good night.
Now you